Most people think starting a company in Micronesia is complicated, slow, and only possible if you already understand legal systems or have expensive consultants. And because of that belief, they never even explore it properly. But here's the truth no one tells you. The process is actually structured, predictable, and once you understand the exact steps, you can legally register a company in Micronesia much faster than expected. But here's the real problem. Most delays don't happen because the system is difficult. They happen because people choose the wrong structure or fail to complete simple compliance requirements at the beginning. So in this video, you are going to learn the complete step-by-step process to start a company in Micronesia in 2026. And stay with me, because in a few minutes I'll show you the one mistake that causes most applications to get delayed or rejected without the applicant even realizing it. Now let's start from the foundation. Before you register anything in Micronesia, you need to understand the business structures available. This is where most beginners make their first mistake, and that mistake can affect taxes, liability, banking approval, and long-term business growth. Micronesia includes different states, but for business formation, the structure is generally based on domestic business entities, such as sole proprietorships, partnerships, and corporations. Each one serves a different purpose depending on your goals. Let's simplify this. If someone like John in Pohnpei wants to open a small local shop or service business, a sole proprietorship might be enough. It is simple, fast, and low cost. But here's the downside. There is no separation between personal and business liability. If the business fails, John is personally responsible for all debts. Now imagine someone like Alex, who wants to build an online business, serve international clients, or create a more scalable company. In that case, a corporation makes more sense because it separates personal assets from business risk and improves credibility when dealing with banks or partners. Now here's where it gets interesting. In a minute, I'll show you how choosing the wrong structure can quietly block your ability to open a business bank account, even if your company is fully registered. Now, let's move to the first official step. Step 1 is choosing and reserving your company name. In Micronesia, company registration is typically handled through state-level or national business registration offices depending on your business type and location. Your company name must be unique and cannot be identical or too similar to an existing registered business. So the process starts with a name search. You submit your proposed company name, and the registry checks availability. If approved, the name is reserved while you complete incorporation. Now here's a mistake many beginners make. They rush this step and choose names without thinking about branding or long-term business credibility. For example, a name that sounds fine locally might not build trust with international clients or financial institutions later. And here's a retention moment for you. In a few minutes, I'll show you how your company name can influence banking approval and even your ability to receive international payments smoothly. Now once your name is reserved, you move to incorporation. This is where your company becomes a legal entity. To incorporate a company in Micronesia, you need to prepare official documents. These usually include articles of incorporation, details of directors and shareholders, a registered office address, and your share structure. Let's break that down simply. Your articles of incorporation define how your company operates. It includes your business purpose, governance rules, and basic legal structure. Your directors are the people responsible for managing the company. This can be a single person or multiple individuals. Your shareholders are the owners of the company. If you own everything, you are the sole shareholder. Your registered office is the official legal address where government communication is sent. Now here's where most people struggle. They assume incorporation is complex or requires heavy legal expertise. But in reality, most company formations follow standard templates or government forms. The real challenge is accuracy and completeness. But here's the catch. Even small errors like incorrect names, missing identification documents, or inconsistent addresses can delay approval significantly. And this is where many applicants lose time without realizing it. The system is not difficult. It is detail-sensitive. Now, let's move forward. In Micronesia, depending on your business type, you may need to register at a state level and comply with local administrative requirements. This is important because business rules can vary slightly between states. Now here's where it gets interesting. Many beginners assume registration is the same everywhere, and ignore local requirements. But missing a local step can delay your full approval, or create compliance issues later. So attention to detail matters here. Now once your documents are prepared, they are submitted to the relevant registration authority. If everything is correct, your company is approved, and you receive your certificate of incorporation. This is the official legal proof that your company exists. Now pause here for a second, because this is important. At this stage, many people think they are ready to start operating immediately. But they are missing key steps required for banking, tax compliance, and full operational readiness. And in a moment, I'll show you what happens if you try to open a bank account without preparing properly. Now let's talk about taxation. In Micronesia, businesses may be subject to local tax regulations depending on structure, income level, and location. Tax systems are generally simpler than larger countries, but compliance is still required. Now here's where beginners get confused. They think small economies mean no tax obligations. That is not accurate. You still need to comply with local tax registration and reporting rules. So clarity matters here. Now, let's add another layer. If you plan to hire employees in Micronesia, you must comply with labor laws and employment regulations. This ensures proper worker protections and legal compliance. Now, here's a curiosity loop. In a few minutes I'll show you how skipping employee registration can create legal and financial problems, even if you only hire one part-time worker. Now, let's talk about something very practical. Your business bank account. Once your company is incorporated, you need a corporate bank account to operate professionally. Banks will require incorporation documents, identification of directors and shareholders, proof of address, and a clear explanation of your business activity. Now here's the problem many entrepreneurs face. They assume registration automatically means banking approval. But banks operate under strict compliance rules. If your business model is unclear or your documentation is inconsistent, your application can be delayed or rejected. Let's make this real. Imagine Alex sets up an online consulting company in Micronesia. If Alex cannot clearly explain how clients are acquired, how payments are received, and what services are provided, the bank may hesitate. So clarity is more important than complexity. Now let's move into licensing. Depending on your business type, additional permits may be required. For example, businesses in tourism, import-export, fishing, construction, or regulated industries may require additional approvals from government authorities. Micronesia's economy relies heavily on natural resources and local industries, so certain sectors may have stricter regulations. Now here's where things become long-term. After incorporation, your company must remain compliant. This includes maintaining accurate records, updating any changes in ownership or directors, and filing required reports. If you fail to comply, your company can be removed from the registry. And restoring it later is often more expensive and time-consuming than maintaining it properly from the start. So consistency matters more than speed. Now let's talk about timeline and cost. Company registration in Micronesia can be relatively smooth if documents are correct. But delays usually happen when information is missing or inconsistent. Costs vary depending on structure, administrative requirements, and whether you use professional assistance. But here's the key insight most people miss. The biggest factor affecting speed is not the government. It is preparation quality and document accuracy. Now let's cover common mistakes. One major mistake is choosing a structure without considering banking requirements. Another is submitting incomplete or inconsistent documents. Another is ignoring tax obligations after incorporation. And another big one is assuming registration automatically means you are ready to operate. And here's the mistake I promised earlier. Many entrepreneurs successfully register their company but fail at the banking stage because they cannot clearly explain their business model or provide consistent documentation. Even a legally registered company can struggle if it does not pass financial due diligence. So registration is only the beginning. Now let's bring everything together. To start a company in Micronesia, you begin by selecting the right business structure. Then you reserve your company name. After that, you prepare incorporation documents and submit them to the appropriate registration authority. Once approved, you receive your certificate of incorporation. Then you register for tax compliance if required, set up employment compliance if you hire staff, open a business bank account with complete documentation, apply for any required licenses depending on your industry, and maintain ongoing compliance through proper record keeping. That is the complete legal roadmap. And here's the most important takeaway. Starting a company is not just about registration. It is about building a structure that supports banking, compliance, and long-term business growth. If you understand the process early, you avoid delays, banking issues, and legal complications later. And now you have a complete step-by-step guide to starting a company in Micronesia in 2026, with clarity and confidence. If you found this useful, like the video, leave a comment about what type of business you are planning to start. And subscribe, because in the next guide, I'll show you how to get your first customers fast, even if you are starting from zero.